Hey everyone, so here is the second promised video of the week that I had talked about last week. Essentially here I'm going to show you guys how I create grass within a landscape scenery and not separate from anything else. First of all, I'm going to grab all the colors that are already in the picture itself so I can orientate myself with them later. This grass patch is still from the video with the tutorial of how to paint a tree, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. And yeah, we're going to only complete the right side today, so you can see there's a bit of a difference with shadow, but the principle remains the same. I will make a separate video to finding your own colors if that's what you would like to see as well. Here essentially I'm grabbing the old brush and I'm going to start to rough up the whole grass landscape, so I'm going to add a lot of texture with the old brush, and I'm going to be using the colors that are already in the picture and the colors from the stuff that I've taken out because it looks cleaner. A lot of the colors in the grass have already kind of blended together, and I want to have the specific colors in there for sure, so I know which ones to use. If you've seen the previous tutorial on the grass patch itself, you know in the second step we added a lot of rough texture with the old brush, or any textured brush really, and that is exactly what we're going to do here. And I'm going to be trying to also lay out the shadow and the light areas a bit better than I've done before, and just kind of try to make sense of it as I go. Of course, if you're starting with a grass patch in a scenery from scratch, then the way I go about it is I put down all the colors like I have there, just with a regular hard brush, or I use the rectangular brush again, the one I mentioned a lot. And I just lay down all the colors, make sure I've got my shadow, my light, I have got a color diversity there that I can work with. As you can see, there are lots of different color ranges of green tones here, so blue ones and yellow ones and lighter and darker, you know the drill. And yeah, I kind of make sense of it beforehand so that when I start roughing it up like here, I don't have to make too much of sense of it. It's already done essentially. For this video I tried to keep all of the footage in it, which is why I had to speed it up a little bit each of them. It took me a lot longer than, the minutes in this video say, but I hope that it's helpful. I don't know if it does help to see it more in real time or if it's okay sped up, let me know in the comments if you have any preference. But yeah, I will just be doing this here real quick. Generally with landscape, the more different shadow and light you add to it, the more interesting it becomes. When you just have a single grass landscape that is one color or two colors maybe for shadow and light, then, well, I think it doesn't look quite as interesting as if you are kind of moving the eye across textured landscape, so with some dips and, some valleys and hills and stuff. So I just found to play around with shadow a little bit. It might have been too strong what I've done in the front of the grass, even before the tree towards the sky. It looks quite hilly and quite, uneven. But yeah, sometimes that kind of adds to it more so than it takes away, which is something to keep in mind when you're planning out your landscapes. Okay, so the texturedness is over. Now I'm going to head in with a smaller, finer brush. Can be a Procreate Studio pen, which I use a lot, or you can use a pencil, which I prefer for like the small, thin, tall grasses. And you go in essentially and you make sure that all the different grass patches of colors overlap with each other. So you essentially add a little bit of the darker color in the lighter patch, a little bit of the lighter color in the darker patch, so it looks like there are single grasses that kind of stick out as well in between, because some will be taller in reality and the sun will catch onto them and make them a different color than the rest of the patch. So it looks a lot more natural when you kind of make it go into each other like that. And yeah, I've left the footage so you can see what I mean exactly, how you go in with the darker colors to the lighter places, etc. and so on. This is where we are adding the mid-tone colors to various other places to make sure that we know where our light falls. In the other tutorial with the grass patch, that is exactly what we did as well, and we went in with the finer pencil or brush to add this little to add these details. And similarly to the last tutorial, I will be going in with lighter colors in the end, also with a finer pencil brush, and then that will kind of complete the look. So this is really the step with the midtones where I think it really comes to life and where you can really make a difference, because the grass patches with the textured bit obviously look quite unfinished and very rough, but this is your chance to kind of liven it up a little bit and to add different tones, midtones, etc. Now all the mid details are done, all the mid-tone details are done, and so I'm going to move on to grabbing some lighter colors from the color wheel, just pushing them up slightly, and then yeah, just adding some more detail, which really makes a difference to the end. As you can see, I'm color correcting a lot at the back. That's because I felt like it was a bit too dark without anything else standing up there. I wanted to paint another tree in, but I just wanted to keep it simple as well. So I decided to opt for simple and change the color of the back a little bit, make it lighter where it goes towards the sky. Yeah, so we're nearly at the end. I am just going to add a few final details and then I'm going to give you a few close-ups. And yeah, if you followed along, please do tag me on social media thingies, because I'd love to see what people do. And I hope this was helpful in some way or another. I will be continuing this series, and I think the next thing I will be doing is probably rocks, but don't hold me to it because things can change within the next 2 weeks a little bit, and rocks are slightly intimidating. So yeah, but I was also intimidated by grass and I felt like it went quite well, so here we are. Yeah, I definitely hope it was enjoyable, and I think I'll be doing some more in landscape tutorials where I've already got a painting going, and then I'll do a whole piece on video. The final close-up is something I grabbed from a cheat sheet I made for my Patreons. If you feel like you want to have some of those handy sheets where I've summarized everything, then feel free to be a Patreon or to subscribe, because I'll be uploading stuff here and on Instagram and exclusive stuff on Patreon. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your support with this, and I hope you have an amazing day. See you soon.